Welcome to a new game, 15-minute game here on ICC. I lost a couple of seconds because I got a bit confused with the Dortmund broadcast here, so I had some Dortmund moves mixed in here and it was quite weird. But now I'm started. An open Sicilian here, and I'm playing the classical variation here, so not the well-known Yugoslav attack with f3 and long castles and so on, but this this old line here. It is an old favorite of Anatoly Karpov, who played it in the late 70s and early 80s, and it's certainly not a bad line for white. Main advantage compared to this long castling lines, of course, is that you can actually try to find moves yourself and don't need to memorize all those long sharp lines. I thought I would have prevented this move because of bishop f6 and takes on d5, but he obviously thinks he can play it anyway. So let's say bishop f6, ed5, bishop c3, yeah. This must be his idea. B takes c, then he can capture on d5. Yeah, okay, well, maybe this is possible. So let's check quickly. E takes d5, just e takes d5. Yeah, he can just take with the knight. Alright, so bishop f6, knight d5. He just wants to capture b2. Yeah, this is most likely okay for black. So amazing, he can play this move. What else? I mean, knight c5 maybe. But I'm not sure if you maybe can play d4 and chase my c3 knight away. I don't want to move this piece. Interesting. So did I really... Yeah, maybe I did butcher up the move order here somehow. Okay, so not much choice. If I cannot find anything else, I need to take here and trying to play this position, which arises after bishop f6, ed5, bishop c3, bc3, and he takes on d5. I have some ideas in this position. It's not entirely pointless. I'm somewhat better developed, so maybe there's something in this. Okay, but I could think of no. I thought maybe taking on e6, but he really can take the rook and has got no problems. Okay, need to capture here. Question is, how does he take now? If he takes with the queen, I would have played bishop f3. Okay, and in this position, knight c5. He might just play d6, b6, yeah. b6, c4, takes on g2 with a weird position. Not sure I want to allow that. I could play c4, bishop e6, knight c5. This is a bit irritating for black. Maybe he needs to even go back to c8. Okay, I must try that, I think. This still looks like white maybe can make something of his development advantage. From a structural point of view, of course, these pawns are ugly. Okay, I have potential discoveries with the bishop because this bishop is just loose, but nothing great available, I guess. Okay, so just knight c5, taking e4 and b7. So I should get the b7 pawn. An interesting question is what happens if he takes d1. Should I capture with the bishop, really winning a pawn? Capturing with the bishop protects c2, but I could also take with the rook, which looks yeah, much more logical, really, more dynamic. So queen d1, rook a d1 maybe, or e d1, always difficult. At some moment maybe rook b1 might be good, so hard to tell which rook is better. But I think just queen d1, rook a d1 looks good. Bishop c2, rook d2, bishop f5. Yeah, and then should I just take b7 or is it an idea to play bishop f3, first activating the bishop? I think I should just take. And maybe then I have a slight advantage with the c-pawn. It's nothing great though. Not quite sure what he's thinking about. Okay, maybe bishop. Yeah, okay. Maybe I get it now. Bishop f5, knight b7. Maybe he's looking for queen moves. Queen b6. I can answer with rook b1. Yeah, but this is a valid idea. He could think of bishop f5 here. Yeah, he played it. I would take d8 now. Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to give him the d file, really. And knight b7. Yeah, knight b7, queen c7. I need to return to c5. And then he's got rook d8. Okay. Okay, this maybe was pretty good idea to play bishop f5 here immediately. Are there any other ideas than taking on b7? Bishop f3 can just play queen c7, I guess, and it's just nothing. A move like g4, kicking the bishop. He, I think, can just play queen b6, I thought. Some queen move, queen b6. Then I could play knight b3 back. Yeah, g4. G4 is a really weird move. Just weakening, I guess. But knight b7, queen c7 is also not great. Don't like this so much, but okay, what can you do? Queen c7, just knight c5, and then he's got rook d8. I also need to be careful about knight d4 coming up, or knight b4, these kind of moves. Yeah, black is certainly okay here. Yeah, good defense here with bishop f5. Maybe knight c5, but knight c5 must have been right. I guess. Difficult. So now rook f d8, yeah, and Then the question is, what should I play? Some interposing move like bishop d3 or knight d3, or move the queen. If I move the queen, I have to reckon with this knight moves, knight d4, knight b4. Yeah, black is okay anyway, whatever I do. Bishop. I don't like queen c1 really. He can play at least stuff like knight b4, knight d4, knight d4, knight d3, takes on e2, takes on d3, and black has a fine game. So, but if I play something on d3, I might even play e5. e5. Okay, I need to do something. If he goes e5 now, I was thinking about queen c1, covering the f4 square so that further advances will allow knight f4. He can still play knight b4, move like this. Alright, so queen here. So that on e4 I can play knight f4. If he goes knight d4, I will play bishop f1, I guess. Yeah, bishop f1. Oh wait, not so quick. Maybe knight b4, but knight b4 I can take with check and play queen c4. Okay, but I have this idea now. Knight b4 is a threat, I think, or an idea at least. Knight b4 to d5, and his pawn on e5 is hanging now, so he needs to react somehow. Okay, so this shouldn't be too bad, really. Knight f4, knight f4 to d5. This is the difference, b4 or d4. He could move e3, yeah, e3. Yeah, but I have knight d5. I mean, knight d5 is just really strong. So this should be okay. I mean, on e3, if he plays e3 now, I can. Yeah, what should I play? I mean, there's more than one move. I could also just take it. Even with the rook, as e3, rook e3, queen f4, rook e8 is possible. Queen e3, knight c2 also possible. I have this knight d5 is just really strong. It would cost an exchange, I think, with all this knight f6 ideas. So this should really be fine now for me. Would be surprised if he's got some great idea now. If he, I mean, I cannot cover d5, which is the issue. Bishop e6, I could simply take it on e4, or better even play c3. Knight returns and then grab e4, or take e6, grab e4, which is just a nice extra pawn. Yeah, not sure. Don't see a good move really. Maybe he must think along the lines of allowing knight d5. Okay, now he played d3. So what now? I like this rook e3. I mean, okay, let's do this systematically. If I take with the pawn, he plays queen, knight c2, right? And this is not so great with this somewhat ragged pawn structure. But what about rook e3? He cannot take on f4 because of this check here. If he takes c2, I play knight d5. And not sure if he can really move the queen. Nah. Maybe he can. If he would sack on d5, I take with the pawn, and he cannot move the bishop. He's in a pin, so another idea which I just thought about was taking with the pawn. Knight takes and e4, but it looks a bit shaky. All right, so don't spend too much time here. So 95 now. This really relies upon the fact that this is just a super strong piece. But okay, I just recognize he cannot really move the queen, as I also have knight e7 f5, which would just win. I mean, if he plays something like queen a5 here, I think I can really just play knight e7. And if he takes on d5, which looks normal really, to get rid of the knight, I would recapture, and then he cannot take either one of my rooks because it's a c-file pin. The queen on c1 pins the queen. And okay, he can move the queen and try to get back the exchange next move. But I have a move then, and the question is if I have a good one. Probably I have, but at least it would leave me with an extra pawn, the extra d pawn. Yeah, I cannot really believe he can move the queen now. Queen a5. Ah, okay, on queen a5 isn't playable at all. I guess I can play rook e5 then also. Rook e5 with discovered ideas, knight e7, knight f6 winning the queen. So he cannot take the rook, and I threaten all kinds of stuff. Even rook takes f5. He needs to take d5, not much choice. Yeah, okay. So here I've got yeah, I need to check this carefully now. A possibility is I can take on e3 also. So g4 was my first idea here. G4 distracting this bishop here, but he can take e3 and then g4. So g4 is just a nonsense move. Bishop c4 would looks decent at first, but he can play rook c8. This is somewhat tough to counter. Okay, but I really need to to keep this pawn. Bishop e2 to f3, something like this. Yeah, really not easy here to keep something here. Bishop e2, he might even play queen f6, yeah, which might be a really embarrassing move to face. Queen f6 is a threat now. What a weird position. He really defended this quite well, I guess. Okay, so what else is there? Any rook moves? I mean, he just takes. This is the issue. He just takes on d5. Can I play it in a way that at the end I can somehow get some play against f7? Yeah, this would be at least something. Okay, let's try this move here. If he takes a1, queen takes, queen d5, I can play bishop c4 and then try to do something against f7. But of course time is an issue here. If you would play queen d4 now, I can take f7, king f7, rook c7, winning the queen, and I think really I can take now. Or is it some trick to put me in a nasty pin here? Bishop f7, king takes, bishop b3, rook c8. But I can play rook c1, right?
Check.
Okay.
Check.
He just took this instantly. Why? Was he thinking I'm just blundering this thing or what?
Check.
Alright, so I have got the queen now against rook and bishop, but 2.5 minutes down. First making some room for the king here. If he plays the rook now, I can play queen d4, double attacking a7 and d7. Rook c7, rook c7, maybe king h2, and queen d6. He still has this check here. Okay, but this doesn't really help. Yeah, so rook c7, queen d6 is fine. The check, I have king h2, also threatening queen f4 check. So this doesn't really matter.
Check.
Yeah, now this hangs and queen f4. Maybe I'm winning more material instantly, which would help a lot with this time. I don't really see a move. This is hanging. Okay, this is maybe the only move. But I can play g4. g4 is good, right? Yeah, g4. So that I can actually check on f4, picking up the rook. Yeah, okay, this must be winning now. Winning a piece. Yeah, black had really bad coordination here. Can just take, right? Yeah. And also
check.
Taking this. Continues.
Check.
Any way to end this quicker? Okay, let's just get the a-pawn rolling.
Check. Time warning. Check.
There really
check.
Should be some way to pick up the rook, yeah. King h5, queen f7 picks up the rook.
Check. Black resigned.
Yeah, now he resigned. Yeah, rather interesting game. I was he defended very well, I think, for quite some time. In this position, this bishop f5 was a good move, and here black must be perfectly okay. The rook move should be fine. Then they played this here. Yeah, the computer actually now gives knight d4 with some advantage to black. Yeah, I can believe this. I mean, black is very active. e5, queen c1. Yeah, he still gives black a good position. Knight d4, also very logical. But now e4 really e4 was a bad move here. He needs to go with a normal move here. Something like yeah, f6 if you want to play it safe. But rook b8, yeah, the computer suggestion here is quite nice. It covers this square here. Covers the b4 square, and this helps so that I cannot play knight b4. And e4 just has the problem that it allows my knight here to d5. Here the comp wants to take on c2, yeah, with the quality, okay. And not sure if this yeah, the computer actually wants to play bishop c4 here. I was really a bit annoyed about rook c8. Maybe this wasn't so much of a problem, but it looked problematic to me. So this move. Yeah, and now he just needs to play queen e5, and it's just dead. And this just blunders a pawn.
Check.
But I don't know. He took 2 seconds to grab this. I don't understand really. He's got 4 minutes on the clock, and I mean, you can look at the rating that I'm not a complete petzer. So okay, so
check.
So I won the queen here, and I think he instantly loses even more material. Black is so badly coordinated. Yeah, all right. I think an interesting game. He really spoiled it with this e4 move. Always need to take into account what kind of squares you give the opponent if you move pawns. Yeah, the old famous saying "they cannot move backwards" is really true. And they just gave me this nice route here with a knight. here, this d5 square. All right, thanks for watching, yeah, and talk to you soon with new videos, also in English. The Dortmund tournament is close to finish now, and after that I'll switch back to the usual English commentary.